What's going on? What is going on, Knicks Nation? The New York Knicks won 138 to 129. Man, what a game for Obi Toppin, Manuel Quickly, and Quincy Grimes. Incredible. First time since what was it that the Knicks just tweeted? First time since the 70s that three players on the same team scored 30 or more points. Manuel Quickly with 39 points. Quincy Grimes, career high. Quincy Grimes, 36 points tonight. Continues his hot streak. Quincy Grimes has been simply incredible for this New York Knicks team. These past couple of weeks has just been insane, man. I mean, if this version of Quincy Grimes gets me super excited for the playoffs. And Quincy Grimes, career high 36 points. Obi Toppin had a scare there in the first quarter, right, where he banged his knee. And then he dropped a cool, calm, and collected 32 points for Obi Toppin. You know, Obi Toppin 5 of 12 from 3. Emmanuel Quickly 7 of 13 from 3. Quincy Grimes 5 of 13 from 3. Amazing. All three of these players played over 40 minutes. And this is what you want to see out of our young players. This is what you want to see. A lot of people in the chat already. Appreciate all you. Dainty, what's going on? Let's go. It is what it is. Big task. Bye, Pacers. Anyway, I got the Knicks in 3 versus the Cavs. Knicks in 3 versus the Cavs. That's impossible. Big task. Lewis says goodnight. Lewis says Obi, IQ, and Grimes, 30-plus points. Insane, man. Simply insane. Tyler in the chat says we up. Always, bro. Always up. The New York Knicks are always up. I mean, this game was simply, look, start of this game, Jalen Brunson early in the day got ruled out. You know, their Knicks are planning to possibly sit him these last 2 games coming up here. They sat him tonight. Knicks have locked up the 5th seed. The matchup is set, guys. Knicks Cavs in about a week and a half. It's going to be exciting. But these last 3 games, there was nothing to play for. So Knicks decided to go the safe route with Jalen Brunson, and they decided to rest him. And great, in my opinion, that's a good move. I mean, Brunson last game was dealing with his hand thing. He was favoring his hand a lot. So, you know, we didn't want that to act up this game, especially these games that don't really mean anything at all. I mean, I get it. Guys want to go into the playoffs in rhythm. You know, you don't want guys to, you know, start the playoff series cold and rusty. We're already going to have that with Julius Randle. We don't know what version of Julius Randle we're going to get versus the Cavaliers. But yeah, no Brunson, so Emmanuel Quickly steps in. And guys, Emmanuel Quickly as a starter of the season has been insane. And him as a player in whole has been incredible this season for the New York Knicks. And his efficiency has been incredible. His defense has been awesome. Emmanuel Quickly tonight, another 39 points. I mean, these 3 guys are, they're the guys that we drafted, right? Homegrown Knicks. They're the homegrown Knicks. So this is what makes it even more special. Just makes it even more special. Tyler in the chat says 14 points, 17 rebounds, and 7 blocks for Mitchell Robinson. You know, I came on here preaching about Obi Quickly and Quincy Grimes, but got to give flowers to Mitchell Robinson, man. The beginning of the game, first quarter, Mitchell Robinson looked like prime Shaquille O'Neal, right? Looked like prime Shaq out there. He was freaking dominating the Pacers. And look, the Pacers were resting their 2 main players, Miles Turner and Tyrese Halliburton. They're injured at the moment, but Mitchell Robinson came out aggressive. And I love to see that from Mitch, man. You love to see Mitch come out aggressive. They were feeding him the rock in the post, man. And it was nice to see, man. Mitchell Robinson, how many? 7 blocks for Mitch? Blockmas is back, man. 14 points, 16 boards, 7 offensive rebounds. Just keeps getting those offensive rebounds, man. Dainty in the chat, what was Obi like tonight? What is that? Look, Obi Toppin banged his knee in the first quarter. I thought that was it. I thought he was going to be done for the game. Came back, limped it off, and had a 4-point play tonight, 5 of 12 from 3. Obi Toppin as a starter is Numbers don't lie, right? Numbers do not lie. Obi Toppin as a starter has been impressive, along with Emmanuel Quickly as a starter has been impressive. And this just builds up confidence going into a playoff series. Hopefully the young guys can, build up confidence. This is Quentin Grimes' first playoff series. So Grimes is just continuing his awesome play, continuing his amazing play for Quentin Grimes. And I mean, the growth that he has had over these past couple of weeks have just been incredible. I mean, just look at this game log for Grimes. It started in Miami. I mean, over 20 points in all of 2 games out of his last 8 games. So 8 games out of his, for 6 games out of his last 8 games with over 20 points for Quentin Grimes. Career high 36 tonight. And what's impressive is that he's shooting the 3 at an impressive clip and that he is also becoming a playmaker. And you love to see it, man. Big Taz says Mitch was looking like Shaq. Yes, he was looking like Lakers Shaq out there, man. Grimes was prime Kobe and Mitchell Robinson was Shaq out there, man. And Emmanuel Quickly was just, an icing on the cake. And games like, I love to see games like this, man. I mean, it just shows you that our young players have grown, they have developed. People say that we don't develop young players, and long behold, man, look at tonight. Look at the box score tonight. For everyone who says we don't develop young players, look at the box score tonight, please. Mitchell Robinson, we drafted. Quentin Grimes, we drafted. Obi Toppin, we drafted. Emmanuel Quickly, we drafted. RJ Barrett was out tonight due to illness. Those 4 players have rapidly improved here, and their growth has been stupendous. It really has. All of them. And this was a game that, didn't matter on the schedule in terms of standings, but to see those guys come out, ball out for the New York Knicks has been incredible. Incredible. And then Emmanuel Quickly just closing out the game there. Oh, guys, man. Knicks Cavs first round, man. I'm excited, man. How about y'all? I'm excited for this matchup coming up here. I'm going to preview it as the time comes, but I'm excited, man. I really am. Lewis in the chat says his roster is solid, but Fournier is done. Oh, Lewis, man. The Knicks gave Evan Fournier a chance tonight, right? They gave him a chance. Came in the game. His defense is still a turnstile. It's, embarrassing. It's an utter embarrassment, his defense. Look, he hasn't played in forever, so he's rusty, but defense is one more year of Evan Fournier, but he came in the game, gave some good minutes, and that's it for Fournier, man. It is sad, man. It's sad for Fournier. Dame 2, man, what's going on? Baby 3 looking like the future. That's for sure, man. Looking like the future. They said we couldn't develop, man. They said we couldn't develop young players, and then Quentin Grimes, Emmanuel Quickly, and Obi Toppin come out and each drop over 30 points. First time that has happened since the 1970s. Not even R.J. Barrett, Jalen Brunson, and Julius Randle has done that. That trio has scored more than 20 points, but 3 players scoring more than 30 points in a game. Do you guys know how hard that is? And I know the Pacers stink. The Pacers suck, but I don't care. Like, that's hard to do, man. Emmanuel Quickly almost dropped 40 tonight. Almost a 40 piece from Emmanuel Quickly, 39 points. And Grimes, Obi, Mitch had a great game. Deuce had some run in there. But great confidence boost for the young players. And this is a confidence boost for the playoffs, man. It really is. And Quentin Grimes, I don't want to, as much as I want to preserve these players, right? As much as I want to preserve Emmanuel Quickly, Grimes, I don't want anyone to get hurt. Excuse me. I don't want anyone to get hurt, right? Obi Toppin scared us in the first quarter. As much as you want to not play these players, at the same time, these players need rhythm. They're super young still. I mean, all 3 of these guys are super young. And you want these guys going into the playoffs with a rhythm. You do. You don't want them to look rusty. You want them to go into the playoffs with confidence. And, boy, Quentin Grimes. Quentin freaking Grimes. Dame Chew says, let's be fair to, let me just pull a comment in the chat. let's be fair to Evan. He's out of rhythm last 2 years. He's dropped huge buckets. Yeah, Evan, look, Celtics killer, Evan Fournier. I remember that game opening night versus Celtics, that overtime thriller, and Evan Fournier was a huge part of that. But yeah, I mean, it just sucks how, his game has, pretty much pulled a 180 here. But yeah, Evan has been nothing but a pro for us this season. He's been nothing but a professional, and he hasn't been soaking on the bench along with Derrick Rose. These guys are professionals. These guys are working behind the scenes, probably getting these young players ready for playoff atmospheres, especially Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has been there, done that. So, Derrick Rose is nurturing these players behind the scenes, and he's stuff we don't see as fans, right? We don't see what they're doing behind the scenes, but I'm sure on these plane rides, the veterans, Fournier, Rose, are all, working the guys up, and this is going to be fun. But yeah, Evan has been, it's just a bad year for Evan, and he's been nothing but a pro though. So yeah, man. Wow. I mean, I didn't think Obi and Quickly and Grimes were gonna play this much. I didn't think they were gonna play over 40 minutes. I didn't think they were gonna play over 40 minutes. Obi with 43 minutes, especially when Obi banged his knee. But hey, these players were, efficient as heck tonight. They were moving the ball, they were passing the ball, they were sharing the rock. The Knicks had 34 assists as a team tonight, which is insane. That's crazy. 34 assists, 52 rebounds. Pacers missed a ton of shots. 20 offensive rebounds for the Knicks. 8 blocks. 7 blocks for Mitchell Robinson. Block miss is back, man. Block miss is back. 14 points, 16 boards, 7 blocks for Mitch. Whew. Looking like prime Shaq in the beginning. Like I said, Miles McBride, 13 minutes, 3 points for him. Jericho Sims got some burn. Shout out to Jericho Sims, 5 minutes for Sims. iHeart comes in. Josh Hart was just in there. You could tell Josh Hart, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals. I mean, look, you could just tell Josh Hart wanted to get the other guys involved, and he was just like a vet out there, feeding his teammates, feeding quickly, and running the offense sometimes too. It's exciting times, man. I mean, in case you didn't know, we clinched the 5th seed a couple of days ago. And then the Philadelphia 76ers won right after that. So we officially have a matchup against the 76ers. We officially have a matchup against the Cleveland Cavaliers coming up here. First round matchup is going to be an absolute dogfight. Knicks have 2 games left after tonight, so they can have an opportunity to reach 49 wins on the season. So they're at 47-33 right now. Stuck in the 5th seed, like I said. 2 games left. It's going to be interesting. Who plays the last game? I know these guys are probably going to play the next game, but Dibs is probably going to scale back these minutes. We don't know if Jalen Brunson is going to return this regular season. Probably not, in all honesty. I probably don't think he's going to return, but that would give him about a week and a half of rest, along with Julius Randle has already had a week off. Randle should be reevaluated next week. They said 2 weeks, so today marks 1 week that Julius Randle got hurt. So next week is when he should be reevaluated, and playing tournament starts next week. So, hopefully we get some good news on the Julius Randle front. And yeah, man, and then we can start talking about the playoffs. But tonight was all about the trio of our young players. Got to give them flowers, guys. Emmanuel Quickly, Quincy Grimes, and Obi Toppin, man, balled the heck out. They've been balling all season. Shout out to them. I mean, they've been a huge reason why we're in this position. They've been a huge reason why the New York Knicks are the 5th seed and playing the Cavaliers in the first round. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Obi Toppin possibly being out of the rotation in the playoffs, which I think is crazy talk. Like, people have brought that up to me, and I'm like, I get it. Playoffs, rotations shrink a bit. Maybe his minutes go down a bit, but you're not benching Obi Toppin in the playoffs. I mean, you're not. He just brings that electricity. He brings that pizzazz, and his 3-point shot has been much improved this season. So, yeah. Big Task says Obi Toppin needs Evan Fournier needs to move so we still have room to sign Josh Hart this summer. So yeah. Tyler in the chat says, how much does IQ starting these games at the end of the season impact the 6-man of the year race? Good question. I do think Emmanuel Quickley has a 6-man of the year locked up, in my opinion. Brogdon has been playing. He played yesterday for the Celtics. Don't know if he had a good game yesterday, but Emmanuel Quickley is the odds-on favorite right now. We all know voters. We never know with the NBA voters, with the media. We never know. So I do think if I were to give it a percentage, it would be 80% that he wins 6-man of the year. But yeah, he's been incredible both sides. He's been incredible as a starter. He's been incredible as a 6-man of the year. So I do think they're smart enough to see that. And I do think that ultimately in the end, he will win the award because he deserves it for sure. If they look at these games where Emmanuel Quickley starts and they're like, oh, he doesn't deserve the 6-man of the year because he started games in place of Jalen Brunson when Jalen Brunson has been hurt, please. I mean, I don't want to hear any of that nonsense. Emmanuel Quickley deserves the player 6-man of the year award, and Jalen Brunson deserves the most improved player award. So watch out for that. Watch out for that one. Big Task says, I would be upset if Brunson comes back for these final games. I do not. Saquon, man, what up in the chat, man? I do not think Brunson will come back. I don't. If they sat him tonight, what's the point of putting him out there versus the Pelicans? Pelicans are in a race in the Western Conference. Western Conference is crazy right now. So the Pelicans are still in the thick of things. So you know that team's going to be, scrappy. They're going to be physical. So that would be the wrong game to bring Jalen Brunson back. And, if he was held out tonight due to maintenance for his hand, Pelicans are fighting for a playoff spot. So they're going to be that game's going to be physical. So I agree with you. They're probably we're probably not going to see Jalen Brunson until game 1 versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Doesn't that sound good? Game 1 versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh. Like Bart Scott said, can't wait. Can't freaking wait. I was able to snap game 4 playoff tickets. What game do you plan on being outside? Funny enough, I am going to game 4. Wow. So you will catch me outside the Garden. I will let you guys know the details. I am going to game 4. I snagged tickets today as well. I had the pre-sale, snagged the tickets, got some good seats. I'm going to game 4, so I will send you guys all the details and stuff. I do plan on recording a YouTube video right outside the Garden, and you guys can be in it. It's going to be fun. Just, some fun stuff, some fun interviews and stuff, and it should be fun. But funny you say that, Dame. I was able to snag tickets today as well. I'm going to game 4. First playoff game. It's going to be crazy. First playoff game for us personally. So, yeah. Why does the rotation have to shrink? Keep it at 9. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Big Task. Saquon says Quickley owns every effing team. Emmanuel Quickley, bro. I mean, he's. There's not much more you could say about Emmanuel Quickley. 6-man of the year race should be over. That trophy should be in his house already on the mantle. He should already have that trophy already. So Emmanuel Quickley is awesome, man. This dude is awesome. IQ deserves the 6-man of the year, but I think Brogdon wins this. There's a lot of people who do think Brogdon. There's a lot of media members who think Brogdon should win it too. So you're not alone, Lewis. I mean, I'm biased. I'm not really paying attention to the Celtics like that. I know they're, 2 in the East right now. I know they're a great team, and I know Brogdon has been a huge part of that. I try to be fair as possible. But, what people have to see with Emmanuel Quickley is his growth, man. From last season, the inconsistency last season, we did not know what we would get out of Emmanuel Quickley this season. For him to just take a crazy jump for this New York Knicks team and to put this Knicks team in a position where they are today, that has to be factored into the votes. And it does. And in my opinion, he needs to win. So, yeah. Tyler says, I think Brunson comes back for the last game of the season to get his rhythm back, maybe plays 20 minutes or so. I can see that. Like 15, 20 minutes, get into rhythm. Don't really try that much, kind of jog back and forth and just hope that there's no injuries. But, yeah, I can see that. I can see Brunson, they asked him a couple of days ago, do you see yourself resting? And he said no. And he was like, and then they rested him today. So somebody from up top, maybe Tom Thibodeau, maybe, the front office, maybe it was like, look, we're not risking anything. We already, does resting, I just thought of this. Does resting Brunson these last 3 games, does it give you concern that Randall's injury is actually worse than what it is? Than what they haven't really told us anything. So, Brunson, he wants to play. He's a dog. So resting him for precaution, maybe the Julius Randle injury is, worse than what we're thinking it is. I hope not. But, maybe the Knicks are like, hey, we don't know the situation with Randle, so we're not going to take the chance with Jalen Brunson. But hopefully Randle can get back. I just thought about that. So, I don't know. Every inclination says that, Julius Randle should be able to go. We still have 10 days until game 1. Fingers crossed. So, yeah, Dame, we in there, man. Game 4, I will be in Madison Square Garden, repping the New York Knicks and going crazy. LV Live, man. What's going on, guy? The trio of Emmanuel Quickley, Quentin Grimes, and Obi Toppin. Amazing. 39 for Quick, 36 for Quentin Grimes has been simply incredible. And then Obi Toppin, 32, icing on the cake. And then Mitchell Robinson went straight into beast mode. Cam, man, what's going on? Salute. Another dub. 5 seed, feeling good and ready for Cleveland. Let's go, Knicks. Cam, man, always appreciate you in the chat supporting. Always appreciate all you in the chat supporting. Randall isn't making this 2-game road trip with the team, so maybe. Yeah, I mean, they're not risking anything with Julius Randle. They're not putting him on a plane. They're not like the Knicks are traveling right now. Brunson is with the team. But, maybe the Knicks are being precautious with Jalen Brunson because the Julius Randle injury is, they're up in the air with that, Not saying he doesn't return for the playoffs, but, who's to say, God forbid, we play Brunson in these last 3 meaningless games, right? God forbid he gets hurt. And that we possibly could have went into the series versus Cleveland without Brunson and Julius Randle. So, the Knicks are being extra precautious right now, and props to them because we all thought that Tom Thibodeau was not going to. This is not in Tom Thibodeau's DNA. He doesn't rest players. So, we need Brunson to be 90 to 100%. We do. We need him to go toe-and-toe with Julius Randle. With Donovan Mitchell. And he will. He's proven that last season. That he's a beast in the playoffs, man. Brunson in the playoffs is an absolute beast. And I'm excited to watch him live for the first time. I really am. On a personal note. But, yeah, Brunson in the playoffs is a beast. Big Task says, how do you feel about going to game 4? I am... I secured the tickets today, and I'm ecstatic. First playoff game for me, personally. I've been to regular season games, but as we all know, playoffs have been a crapshoot here. So I'm ecstatic. And then last time they were in the playoffs, just didn't work out. But I'm excited, man. Game 4, I'm going to be in there. And hopefully I get to see some of you guys. Hopefully you guys can make it out there. If not, I'll see you on a stream. I'm going to be live streaming from the Garden too. So FYI, I'm going to be in there with my phone live streaming, probably pre and post game, and just so you guys can get my vantage point and we can hopefully reel in a Knicks victory together and celebrate a Knicks victory together. Cam in the chat says I'm trying to pull up to Cleveland for a game about 3 hours away. So hopefully, I wonder what the Cleveland playoff tickets are going for, because the Knicks tickets, it's over $200 just to get in the Garden. And you're spending 240 to sit. You know, that's just to get in. So I wonder what the Cleveland Cavaliers tickets are looking like. And I'm pretty sure it's not like that. I'm pretty sure it's like about 80 to 100 to get in. Garden's crazy during playoff time. So hopefully you can pull up to Cleveland, man. That'll be fun. Saquon, I remember last year, Jazz, Mavs, rooting for the Mavs. Someone said, aren't you a Knicks fan? And yeah, Jazz. Yeah, Brunson is a Knick, man. Opposite happened. Brunson is a Knick. Lewis in the chat says, going a little off topic, what do you think of Mark Cuban's comments regarding Brunson's father? You know, I think Mark Cuban is a little salty right now that all the talk has been around Jalen Brunson and the Mavs are reeling here. What is the Mavs score right now? Because we actually need the Dallas Mavericks to win. Close game, 79-78. But I think Mark Cuban is feeling it a little bit because Luka Doncic came out and said we miss Brunson badly. And I think Mark Cuban is just being a little bit defensive and he's being a little bit of a crybaby, you know. I think he's he's being a little bit salty right now. He's seeing the Knicks' success, and now he's just airing out everything. Bringing up the Jalen Brunson situation, bringing up that his father was negotiating, and it was a hard negotiating with Jalen Brunson because his father was being, what did he say exactly? His father was being, you know, hard-headed or something along those lines. But I just think Mark Cuban is feeling it right now. He's scared to lose Luka Doncic. That's another story for another day. He's scared to lose him, and he's just trying all avenues to put the flame out. And I just think it's a little bit classless of Mark Cuban to bring up the New York Knicks and to bring up Jalen Brunson along with Rick Brunson's, Jalen Brunson's father, you know, after it is April 5th. Like, why are you bringing up this nonsense right now? Like, Cuban is just salty that the Mavs stink and the Knicks are having so much success and that he's just airing out everything. And, you know, Luka is probably, you know, he's trying to hold Luka by his leg. Luka has one leg out the door and Mark Cuban has his other leg by his two hands. But yeah, that's my thoughts about Mark Cuban. I just think that, you know, the Mavs are reeling right now and he's just airing out everything. And I just think that is classless from him. And I wouldn't have expected that from him, honestly. But hey, it is what it is, man. We got Jalen Brunson on our squad, and I'm damn sure happy about it. Yeah, like Carlos said in the chat, Cuban taking those L's lately. Seriously, man. The roster construction Dallas has been awful. They owe us a first-round pick for the Porzingis trade. I remember when we traded Porzingis to the Dallas Mavericks. It was a shock. I was a Porzingis fan. Then when everything started to come out with his brother, I was like, good riddance, Kristaps Porzingis. We got their first-round pick back, which is the first-round pick this summer. That is top 10 protected, which is why we need the Dallas Mavericks to win so that pick can convey in our favor. Right now, I believe the Dallas Mavericks are number 10 in the West. So if they lose out here, it's going to be tough for the Knicks to grab that pick. The Mavs will probably keep that pick. But yeah, Mark Cuban is just feeling salty right now. And I don't feel bad for them at all. You know, they dug their own grave. They traded for Kyrie Irving. They thought it'll work. Traded away some good defensive players. But what's good about the pick this year, if it doesn't convey, we get their next year pick. And it just... Alexa, turn off. Sorry about that. My Alexa just went off. But yeah, if what's good about the pick, if it doesn't convey this year, next year we get another top 10 protected pick from them. So it is what it is, man. Kareem, man, appreciate you. Shout out to Knicks Nation, always supporting. Appreciate you in the chat. Dame 2s brings up a good point that I've been hearing a lot lately, man. Need everyone to stop the narrative that we're better without Randall. We're not. Let him prove himself in the playoffs. He's the main reason we are in this position. live and die by Julius. I've been hearing this a lot. The Knicks move the ball better with Obi Toppin. That may be true, but Julius Randle is a walking 25 and 10. Hate him or love him. He's been incredible for us this season. He's a huge part of why we're here. We need him to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. If you think that we don't need Julius Randle to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, I mean, I'm sorry you think that way, but me personally, I think we need Julius Randle to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Obi Toppin, yes. Does Obi Toppin deserve more minutes? I've been preaching for Obi Toppin to get minutes forever here. But he's just been blocked by Randle. Nobody thought Julius Randle was going to have this season. I didn't, for damn sure. Nobody thought Julius Randle was going to have a big bounce back season. He did. And now Isaiah Hartenstein has been playing well. So the minutes for Obi Toppin just haven't been there for him. So, yeah, Dame. Julius Randle's a walking 25 and 10. He's probably going to make an all-NBA team. We'll see. But, yeah, man, it just stinks that Obi is behind him, and we've never seen the potential out of him. I guess that's the reason why people are seeing Obi Toppin put up these numbers now, and they're kind of like, oh, look what Obi can do without Randle. And I get it, man. I mean, I understand it. I really do. But Julius is needed, man. And Julius is important to us. He is. Saquon in the chat says the Mavs could get 9th worst to 11th worst, I believe. Yeah, right now they are 10th. The thing about them, if they finish 10, we can still get that pick. They could still fall back. It's highly unlikely. But if they finish with the 10th worst record, they can still fall to the 11th in the lottery. And it's highly unlikely, though. Still possible. Big Taz says without. Hold on. Let me put this on screen. Without Randle, we will beat the Cavs in 4. Both with Randle, we will beat the Cavs in 3. Big Taz, man. Always appreciate you. Without Randle, we beat the Cavs in 4. What are your predictions? I'm leaning. Look, 7 games against Cleveland is Knicks in 7. That means you're going to have to go back to Cleveland for a game 7, which is going to be a hostile environment. The Cavs we've already beaten the Cavs twice in Cleveland, by the way. They're 31-9 at home, and 2 of those 9 losses are from your New York Knicks. Just an FYI. But yeah, I think the percentages of game 7s, the home team wins 80% of the time in game 7s. So you're looking at a really tough task if you're picking the Knicks in 7. I'm leaning Knicks in 6, but I do think that this will be a 7-game series. I mean, everything. Yeah, Saquon in the chat says Knicks in 6 or Cavs in 7. It can go either way, which is kind of the intriguing part of this series. Like, if you're I get it, the Cavs are good, but in order to beat them, Donovan Mitchell here, sometimes, look, he's on a crazy run right now. 40 plus points in how many games? 4 or 5 plus games. He's insane. The thing is, we don't know the health of Okoro. Okoro is a big defender for them. Jared Allen is probably going to be available for them, but we don't know the health of those two. And they were missing their 2 defenders when we played them last week. So it's going to be a dogfight, man. The thing we have over the Cleveland Cavaliers is our bench unit. Hartenstein, Josh Hart, Obi Toppin, they don't match up. The Cavs bench unit does not match up with them. So you're talking about Donovan Mitchell, Garland. Their starters are probably going to play, 35 to 40 minutes a game, possibly even more, the Cleveland Cavaliers starters, which is why I do think this is going to be a long series. And I do think if everything is clicking for the Knicks, if Grimes keeps this up, RJ Barrett, I mean, he's been sick here. He's the key, RJ has to show something this series, in my opinion. RJ has taken some slings and arrows here, but RJ Barrett has to show something. To me, That's what I think. He has to show something, and he has to ball out this series, man. He does. So I'm excited, man. I hope you guys are excited for it. Tyler in the chat says, I feel like the Knicks will steal game 1 in Cleveland. The Knicks need to protect MSG. The most important game of 7-game series is game 1 for the all the pressure is on the Cavs. All the pressure is on the home team. So if the New York Knicks just get 1 out of 2, game 1 or 2, just get split the first 2 home games in Cleveland, come back to MSG tied 1-1. Come back to MSG tied 1-1, and then we have ourselves a series. Then we could take home court from them. You know, that's the beauty of it. Knicks have played well all season on the road, beating the Cavs twice in Cleveland. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun. But 3-1 against Cleveland during the season, playoffs are a different animal, guys. It just is, man. Different animal. And what gives me comfort, and I've been saying it for weeks now, is that we have Jalen Brunson running the ship. And now Emmanuel quickly. We have 2 point guards. 2. Before we had no point guards. We had Elfrid freaking Payton against the Hawks. Elfrid Payton. Enough said. So, do you know how much an upgrade Jalen Brunson is from Elfrid Payton? It's crazy. It's crazy how we even got the 4th seed with that. But yeah, man. Jumping Dame 2 said, but I bought game 4 tickets to see the sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yeah, that would be crazy, right? The Knicks just swept them. I don't see that, but if the Knicks are up 3-0, I will be bringing a broom to game 4. I'm going to the corner store in the city, grocery store. I'm buying a broom. Hopefully they let me in the garden with a broom, and I'm bringing a broom because that would be absolutely incredible. Just sweep the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the Cavs are too good, man. This is gonna be a good series, great series. We still don't know the schedule yet. If they start the 15th or the 16th, I think something got leaked out today that game 1 is on the 15th, if I'm not mistaken. But it's not official yet, so we still don't know if it starts the 15th or the 16th. I went back and looked last season, and the 4-5 matchup started on Saturday. So it's probably going to start the first day of the playoffs, and it's going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible indeed. Tyler in the chat says the Cavs bench shrinks too. But I think Donnie and Garland play 40-plus minutes a game. Yeah, I mean, Donovan Mitchell is good for 40-plus minutes a game. Garland is good for 40-plus minutes a game. I'm not afraid of Garland. Like, I know he's a good player. He's a great player, but I'm not afraid of him. It's just Donovan, you're not going to, I said this on the podcast, you're not going to neutralize him. Like, he's going to get his points. Same thing with Brunson. These stars, you're not going to neutralize them. It's just that if Donovan, like in the previous years, like last season, last playoff series, if Donovan, sometimes he can get erratic. Sometimes he can go like take a bunch of shots and throw his team off rhythm. And I'm just hoping that's the case because, Cleveland, we got to deal with the Twin Towers. That's going to be a hassle in itself. Mitchell Robinson, foul trouble is going to be a key for him. He can't get into foul trouble with those two. Hardenstein and Mitch, Hardenstein, the way Hardenstein's been playing defense here, I'm comfortable with that. It's just what gives me the comfort in saying Knicks in 6 or 7 is our bench unit. Yeah. Tyler says, I think Garland has a ton of pressure on him being the number 2 option in the playoffs. Yeah, man. And, the Cavs bench, they have, let me go through the roster. Because their starting unit is like you have Okoro matched up with Mobley and Allen, which are 3 great defenders, right? Mitchell's not a great defender. So Brunson is going to, the Cavs are probably not going to put Mitchell on Brunson. They're probably going to put Okoro or a bigger guy on Brunson. And it depends if Randall's out there. They're probably going to trap Jalen Brunson a lot. And then they have LeVert. LeVert on defense can't play defense at all. Knicks exposed it last week. Karis LeVert can't play defense. Ricky Rubio can't play defense. They have some 3-point shooters on their bench. Osman, Stevens, LeVert can shoot the 3. So their bench unit, that's where you take advantage of them offensively. Allen, Okoro, and Mobley, great defenders in the starting unit, but their bench unit is where you take advantage of them. Garland might be under the most pressure of any player in the series. Yeah, man. Garland and Barrett are up there because I do think if Barrett has a bad series, if RJ Barrett has a bad series for the Knicks, I don't know where Knicks fans go with the RJ Barrett talks this summer. I'm sure he's probably going to be on the team next season, but I'm just saying if RJ Barrett this is a big series for RJ Barrett. He really has to step up for the Knicks. He hasn't been shooting the 3 well. Him and Obi got into a little scuffle, although they got over it and they made up for it. And this team has been, playing with fire, which I love. But this is a big series for Garland on the Cleveland side, RJ on our side, and don't forget Julius Randle on our side too. We all know how Julius Randle performed versus the Hawks, but I do think that we're gonna get. We just don't know the whether or not Julius Randle is going to be 100% or not, which is he's probably not going to be 100%. So, but Randle will be under pressure. Barrett will be under pressure. I'm confident in the squad, man. I really do think the Knicks will pull out this series, and I do not think we'll be talking about what I just laid out there on the table for you guys. I do think I do think the Knicks will beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. I do. I've been saying it for the past week now, and I do. I just have a confidence in the Knicks, and that maybe that lies with Jalen Brunson or Josh Hart now, but I do, man. Jalen Brunson just brings another element which we haven't had in a while, man. Lewis in the chat says the Cavaliers bench is their weak point. Yeah, man. Been saying it. That's their weak point. Donovan can go for 40 plus. Garland can go off. LeVert can score, can't play defense. Okoro can play defense, can't score. Allen and Mobley, they're good. They're great players as well. So, yeah, man, take advantage of their bench, and we should be good, man. Garland played well in the L. We dished to them. Yeah, Garland did played well, but I'm not like, I don't know. I'm just not fond of Garland. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Garland he can score. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player. I'm not concerned about him. I'm not. Tyler in the chat says RJ doesn't need to do anything crazy. Play good defense, score 15 points a game, and play unselfishly. First thing you said there is the key. Play good defense, man. Play good defense this series and play within the offense. Don't force anything. Don't do anything crazy. Don't force these layups, and just play within the offense. Play unselfishly, like you just stated, and play good defense. But we haven't seen him. We've seen this in spurts, which has been the problem with RJ all season. I talked about Emmanuel Quickly has taken that next step that we wish we would have gotten from RJ this season. Emmanuel Quickly has taken a step that we thought RJ Barrett was going to take. So RJ he's a key for us in this series, man. We need him. We do. And that's just point blank period, man. We need RJ Barrett to step up. And his 3-point shots have been, inconsistent this season, but we know that he's capable of knocking down a clutch 3. He's done it all season. He comes alive in the fourth quarter somehow, and we're gonna need him this series. So Lamar says, "Yo, if the Knicks play Knicks basketball, we can win this in 6." That's the confidence I like, Lamar. That's the confidence I like. Knicks in 6. So you're thinking what? You split the first 2. So that's 1-1. You take both in Madison Square Garden. Then you go up 3-1. And then you go back to Cleveland. You lose versus the Cavs 3-2. and then you finish it off in Madison Square Garden for Game 6. Is that what you're thinking? I can see that, but I can see that. Cavs aren't a good team away from their home court. They're not. They're under 500 away from their home court. So, I can see it sort of going like that. We split one of two on the road. Maybe take both in Madison Square Garden. The key is to take both in Madison Square Garden, right? You split the first two, grab home court advantage from them, and then we're talking. But winning back-to-back games in the Garden, it's going to be a tough task. Especially you're going to have Donovan Mitchell probably want to go bananas versus the Knicks, but it is doable. I do see the Knicks in 6, man. I do. Speak it into existence, ladies and gentlemen. Knicks in 6 or 7. It's just that Game 7. Boy, if this series gets to a Game 7, I'm going to be on the edge. If this series gets into a Game 7, I'm going to be the edge of my seat all game. I'm going to be a nerve wreck. I'm going to be an absolute mess. I'm like, oh, man. I'm excited, though. I can't wait. Saquon says our team this year would sweep our last playoff runs team. Yeah, man. Sweep them off the floor, man. Reggie Bullock, Elfrid Payton, Mitchell Robinson was hurt that series, too. Can't forget about that. We just were depleted, man. And they were throwing everything at Julius Randle. It was a one-man show. Derrick Rose versus the Hawks was awesome until he ran out of gas. And it was just our team compared to 2 years ago, night and day. Night and day, man. Night and day. What are we saying on the Knicks timeline? Has anyone spoken yet? Quentin Grimes, career high tonight. The vibes are immaculate for Quentin Grimes. Obi Toppin, Manuel Quickly, if you're just joining us, have been incredible for the squad. Hit that thumbs up button, ladies and gentlemen. Like the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel. Join us here in the chat. Knicks beat the Indiana Pacers. Their trio of their young players, Obi, Quentin, and IQ, balled the heck out tonight. 2 games left of this season, which has been incredible. Up and down season, mostly ups. Beginning of the season was downs. But, yeah, man, can't wait for the playoffs. Playoffs start in about 10 days. So, yeah, man, let's get excited. That's why the Knicks, Lamar says that's why the Knicks need to handle their business. Don't let it go to 7. Yeah, man, if this, like I said, I read earlier, so the home team wins 80% or 70% of the Game 7s. So, Game 7 in Cleveland is going to be, it's going to be a hostile environment, man, for sure. Lamar says Jalen Brunson will be the difference from that playoff series. For sure, brother. For sure, man. Knowing that we have Jalen Brunson leading us to hopefully the promised land. But I brought up the fact that, look, Knicks are holding out Jalen Brunson here. Maybe the injury for Julius Randle is more up in the air than we think because they're being precautious with Brunson. We definitely need Brunson. We definitely know he's healthy enough to play right now. Randall still up in the air, man. So he's going to get reevaluated next Wednesday. Hopefully we get some good news out of that. But, you know, he's not traveling with the teams, currently in a boot. Hopefully he can get right, man. Hopefully we can get like 80 or 90% Julius Randle. And we should be good, man. We should be good. I'm just checking that timeline to see if I missed anything. Yeah, Lewis, rough Game 7. Yeah, if this series goes 7, it's going to be an absolute, like, all eyes will be on that game, clearly. If this series goes 7, it's going to be crazy. But it would be rough. I believe I just checked FanDuel. I'm not sure if you guys are, like, sports bettors or whatever. The Cavs are favored in the series, by the way. They're favored, like, minus, I think the Knicks are, like, plus 150 to win. So Cavs are favored. That was expected. It is what it is. It is what it is. Stephen A. Smith today. You guys heard what he had to say about this New York Knicks team? He picked the Knicks in 7. And then he said if the New York Knicks lose to Donovan Mitchell, hold on, let me grab the quote. I tweeted it earlier. Quote, if Donovan Mitchell sends the New York Knicks home, everything you did this season was a waste of time, end quote. That was Stephen A. Smith on ESPN New York Radio. He also said back in, July, when the Knicks traded out their first-round pick, that he would never attend a Knicks game this season, and the Knicks are a disgrace, and they're an embarrassment, and he would never attend a Knicks game. And then he went on today to pick the Knicks in 7, and pretty much praising high in the Knicks on First Take, and pretty much saying if they lose to Donovan Mitchell, this whole season would be a waste of time. Okay, Steven. But Stephen A. Smith's always trolling the Knicks fans, man. Always trolling. Knicks for clicks, right? We're going to bring that back. Lamar says, to be honest, I think we can still win the series without Randall. Maybe I'm bugging. It's going to be tough, man. Randall's important to this team. Randall's really important to this team. But, hey, man, the way Obi Toppin has been playing lately, who's to say we can't? But if you put Obi out there with Jared Allen and Mobley, not sure I like that, man. Not sure I like that. Lamar says he's a clown, fake Knick fan. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith, man. Stephen A. freaking Smith. But, hey. Dame 2s, I agree. We don't need that narrative, Lamar. It'll just get into his head for like second round. It'll play like crap. Yeah. Yeah, man. The New York Knicks are headed to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. Beat the Indiana Pacers. We have 2 games left. We have a game against the Pelicans, and then we have a game, last game of the season. I believe it's on Easter Sunday against the Indiana Pacers again, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then that's it. And then the Knicks have a week off, and then either Saturday or Sunday, game 1 versus Cleveland Cavaliers. Look out for our Knicks Cleveland Cavaliers preview video. Probably going to post it this weekend. Just giving you guys a heads up on that. And I'm going to preview, pretty much touch on everything I can within that series, matchups, who I think is very important for this Knicks team to win that series in particular. And hopefully we can get an update on Julius Randle. Hopefully we can get an update on him. Jalen Brunson, we probably know that he's okay. Knicks are just being precautious here. So, yeah, man, 2 games left. Playoffs are next week. Get freaking excited. I'm excited, but appreciate all you guys tonight again. As always, supporting. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up button. As always, I'm Anthony from Knicks Nation. Also, we brought on Mill. She's a content creator here at Knicks Nation. So we're going to be showing her shorts on the YouTube feed. So if you see her speaking about the Knicks, she's part of the team now. We introduced her on Twitter. We're excited about that. Excited about bringing her on board. Also, we have Chris, my podcast host. Fun times here in Knicks land, man. I will be back on Friday, right? That's our next game. I'll be back next game, man. Appreciate all you guys again. Have a good night. See you guys later. And let's go Knicks. Peace.